Prof, you raise a very intriguing perspective there. People have always known performance evaluations as activities that happen once a year for the most part, or for the organizations that think they're doing well, they probably do it quarterly. But you still throwing a spanner in there and challenging that kind of thinking. So what would you say to a manager who wants to shift their thinking and their organization from this traditional way of thinking? Because everybody's so stuck in we either do this quarterly, or best case, if it ever happens, even monthly. What kind of thinking and what kind of conversation should one be having to have performance evaluations that are relevant and impactful for the organization?
Google it. Google it and you tell me which year this debate happened. The title, and do Google it properly. Annual performance review is dead. Then tell me which year was that those debates started. Annual performance review is dead. And I'm just telling you one other thing. Please understand this. If you think change is a necessity, I am telling you this. Pearl Zhu, that was the digital master, said this. Real change occurs only when there is a real mind shift. Talk to us. Talk to CompuConnect Education if you want to continue the conversation. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. Thank you. So let's also look at another aspect that is so important when it comes to performance management. You can't talk about performance management without talking about diversity and inclusion in the workplace. Do you just want to speak a little about how an organization can make diversity and inclusion as a business advantage?
Yes, indeed. And this is a very important because people speak all the time about diversity, equity, and inclusion. If you look at all the conversation, it's about DEY. D, diversity, E for equity, I for inclusion. Ridza is saying to you, in practice, it's not DEI. It's DIE. The issue is we are afraid about the acronyms because it looks, we hear it wrongly, die. Are you okay on that one? But in fact, it's DIE. Diversity, inclusion, then equity. And that's where the beauty of performance management is. Because diversity is an engine of learning agility. And because of the learning agility, what happens? When diversity is at play, and inclusion is taking place, that will create an environment where all the members will have what we call collective learning, unlearning, and relearning. And when that takes place, that's where we have what we call collective success and growth. And when that collective success and growth takes place, we are going to have collective winning. Ladies and gentlemen, that's where the real performance management takes place. How are we going to create that path of diversity with convergence to create impact? It's very beautiful. And why is it going to create a new higher impact? Because of what? Equity. Diversity with the inclusion is going to bring creativity and innovation. And when there is equity, that's where the sustainable winning will take place. Remember our mandate, playing to win sustainably.
Powerful. Very, very powerful. So then, when people talk about diversity, people generally think of gender for the most part, and probably race as well. Is diversity all about race and gender?
Ah, listen, guys, this is a very important stuff. Yes, Cox Taylor, that's the guru in that area since 1993, made it very clear that diversity is humanity. It is a multi-variable, multi-dimensional variable. It's not just about gender, race, nationality. Do you know if diversity is humanity? Look, even in your own home, you will have diversity. And try to test it. Why? You are multi-generational home. What your kids may think may not exactly the way you think. Very possible. Very possible you are a husband and wife, but you did not grow up within the same home. You may not have exactly what we call identical mentality. Even mentality will be another dimension of diversity. When it comes to work, you may not have this. Listen, diversity is humanity. So if diversity is humanity, your workplace will be naturally diverse. Diversity is the reality you breathe every day. It's the air you breathe every single day. My question to you is, are you going to make it a source of energy or a source of entropy at your workplace? It's a choice.
So, Prof, the next question that I would be asking, or a person listening to this podcast would be asking, is where do I start? So, I understand that diversity is humanity, and it's very wide. Where do I start to actually get onto this new way of thinking, where I ensure that my workplace as a leader is very diverse in every way possible to give business a great advantage?
It starts with me. If you say leadership starts with the self. That is why self-leadership is the most important leadership. And what does that mean? I need to gain understanding and conviction that indeed my workplace is naturally diverse. Therefore, as a leader, as a manager, what do I need to do to ensure diversity will be a source of energy in the workplace, therefore an engine of performance and growth, not to become a source of entropy? One of the elements that will allow that to happen is through engagement. Remember, employee engagement is all about the leaders. It is very, very critical. Employee engagement is all about the leaders. Number two, as a leader, my job is to create psychologically safe environment where everyone can voice, where everyone can learn, unlearn, and relearn to grow together, to succeed and win together. And that's the main responsibility of a leader. Doing that with one shared purpose.